Welcome to HUD's Housing Choice Voucher Overviews. This video will discuss the Housing Choice Voucher Homeownership Program. The Housing Choice Voucher, HCV Homeownership Program, is a program that allows families assisted under the HCV program to use their voucher to buy a home and receive monthly assistance in meeting homeownership expenses. HCV homeownership programs are optional for public housing authorities to adopt and allow the PHAs some flexibility in program design, so long as they meet certain parameters defined by HUD. Not all PHAs choose to adopt HCV ownership programs, but the program can be a great opportunity to help low-income families achieve their goal of owning a home. PHAs have the option to limit their program to existing voucher holders. A PHA can also open the program to new admissions as long as those families apply and are selected from the wait list process. Eligible families must also be first-time homebuyers, meet income and employment requirements, with exceptions for elderly and disabled individuals and families. A family is not eligible if they have previously defaulted on a mortgage securing debt to purchase a home under the HCV homeownership option. Finally, a family cannot own another home. In addition, families must complete a housing counseling program as defined by the PHA. The PHA has the authority to set any other reasonable requirements for the program. Families that are admitted to the HCV homeownership program are responsible for finding the housing unit that they wish to purchase. The unit must be either a one-unit property, including single-family homes and manufactured homes, or a single dwelling unit in a co-op or condominium. Families are required to arrange for an independent professional inspection prior to purchase. The PHA must review and approve a contract of sale. HUD requires that all families go through pre-assistance housing counseling before purchasing a home. PHAs design the counseling to fit their local context and requirements. Suggested housing counseling topics include home maintenance, budgeting and money management, credit counseling, negotiating the purchase of a home, obtaining financing, how to find a home, fair housing lending, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, and any other notable topics defined by the PHA. PHAs have the ability to adapt the housing counseling program to meet their local needs. Some PHAs require both pre-assistance and post-purchase or ongoing housing counseling to ensure that families continue to receive support after they become homeowners. At a minimum, homeownership counseling must be conducted by a HUD-certified housing counselor working for a HUD-approved housing counseling agency. PHA should set a maximum timeline for finding and purchasing a home. This timeline should allow families enough time to adequately search for a home while not overextending the resources of the PHA staff managing the HCV homeownership program. HUD has defined the maximum timeline for assistance payments at 15 years if the family's initial mortgage term is 20 years or longer, and 10 years of assistance for all other cases. There are exceptions to these maximums for disabled and elderly families. The amount of assistance that each family can receive is set at the lower of the payment standard minus the total tenant payment, typically 30% of the tenant's income, or the family's monthly homeownership expenses minus the total tenant payment. When a PHA decides to implement the HCV homeownership program, it is important to intentionally structure the program to keep qualified participants actively moving toward homeownership. This method will help the PHA manage the time and effort of the PHA staff that manages the program and will also provide a framework for setting reasonable expectations about how long it takes to close on a home using HCV funding. PHA should emphasize to clients that the primary responsibility for securing necessary financing rests with the family. The PHA is encouraged to partner with and educate local lenders to assist families to obtain housing through the HCV homeownership program. However, the PHA may not require families to use a particular lender or lenders. The family must choose their lender so long as the lender meets the qualifying criteria. When the participant has identified a lender and a loan product, the PHA may review the proposed financing to determine whether the lender and the terms of the loan meet PHA requirements. Mobility is an important part of the Housing Choice Voucher program. If your family decides to sell your house and move, you can work with your PHA to transfer your voucher so that you can continue receiving assistance in your new city or state. If your PHA is considering starting an HCV homeownership program, HUD has many resources to guide the process, including a HUD-sponsored panel discussion featuring a group of panelists with significant experience in managing and in working with HCV homeownership programs. This concludes the presentation on HUD's Housing Choice Voucher Homeownership Program. To learn more about the HCV program, please visit www.hud.gov/HCV.